Imagine walking out to your car tomorrow morning. You reach for the door handle and something catches your eye. A small magnetic box stuck under your bumper. It has a blinking light. You have no idea what it is. Most people would rip it off immediately. But what if that small box is a police GPS tracker? Can you remove it? Will you get arrested? These are not hypothetical questions. Innocent people have found police trackers on their cars when they committed no crime. One case went all the way to the Supreme Court. In this video, I will walk you through what the law says, what you should do if you find a tracker, and the Supreme Court decision that changed the rules for everyone. Before I break it down, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell. You do not want to be searching for this video after you have already found a strange device on your car. Let us start with a real example. A woman named Tiara Beverly in Louisiana noticed several men hanging around her car outside her apartment. As she watched, she saw one of them reach under her vehicle and attach something. Naturally, she panicked. She did not know if it was a bomb, a tracking device, or something else. After looking under her car and realizing it was a GPS tracker, she removed it and attached it to a nearby utility pole. The device was still working. It just was not moving. The police eventually realized their tracker was stationary and demanded it back. Tiara told them they could go retrieve it from the pole. She was never charged with any crime, but another case did not end so smoothly. In Indiana, police suspected a man named Derek Hearing of dealing drugs. They obtained a warrant and attached a GPS tracker to his SUV. About a week later, the signal disappeared. Police assumed Derek had found and removed the tracker. Instead of simply replacing it, they told a judge that Derek had committed theft. They argued that the tracker belonged to the government, and by removing it, Derek showed intent to steal. Think about that. How would Derek know the device belonged to the police? It did not say property of the police department. He just found a strange object attached to his personal property. Fortunately, the Indiana Supreme Court used common sense. They ruled that removing a GPS tracker from your own vehicle is not evidence of theft. The tracker could have fallen off, malfunctioned, or been removed by someone else. Because there was no probable cause, the search warrant was invalidated and the evidence against Derek was thrown out. These cases lead to a larger legal question. For years, police argued that tracking a car on public roads did not require a warrant because your movements are visible to anyone. Other drivers can see you. Police officers can see you. So why should a GPS tracker be any different? That exact question went to the United States Supreme Court in the case United States versus Jones. Antoine Jones was the target of a drug investigation. Police obtained a warrant to attach a GPS tracker to his car, but the warrant expired. They attached it anyway. 11 days after the warrant had expired, and in a jurisdiction where it was not valid, they tracked his movements for nearly a month. The government argued that Jones had no reasonable expectation of privacy because he was driving on public roads. But his attorneys focused on something different. This police physically touched and attached a device to his private property to gather information. That is a very different Fourth Amendment question than simply observing someone from a distance. The Supreme Court agreed. In a unanimous decision, the court ruled that physically attaching a GPS tracker to a vehicle is a search under the Fourth Amendment. Justice Sotomayor wrote that a Fourth Amendment search occurs whenever the government violates a subjective expectation of privacy that society recognizes as reasonable. From that moment on, police generally need a warrant to place a GPS tracker on your car. However, a warrant requirement does not mean police have stopped using trackers. In most cases, warrants are requested and approved within minutes. An officer can walk into a judge's office, present a warrant application, and walk out with a signature in a matter of minutes. The judge may not ask many questions, especially if the officer is known and trusted. The warrant only requires enough information to establish probable cause, and that is not a very high bar. So, while the Jones decision added a layer of protection, it did not end GPS surveillance. Police still get warrants. They still use trackers, and they can track your movements even if you have done nothing wrong. This brings us to the critical question: what should you actually do if you find a GPS tracker on your car? Unfortunately, there is no single answer that applies to every state. Different states have different laws, and courts can reach different conclusions. But here are the steps I would take, based on the law and the cases we have discussed. First, remove the GPS tracker. Courts have repeatedly ruled that removing a tracker from your own vehicle is not theft or tampering with evidence. The tracker does not say police property, do not remove. You have no intent to steal it. In fact, you could argue that the police abandoned their property when they attached it to your car without your consent. In the Derek Hearing case, the Indiana Supreme Court specifically rejected the idea that removal equals theft, so you can safely take it off. Second, once you have removed it, do not assume there's only one. Some police departments use multiple trackers on a single vehicle. Use a GPS tracker detector, a small device you can buy online, to scan your car for any additional trackers. This ensures your privacy is fully protected. Third, if you find a tracker and you believe it was placed by law enforcement, contact an attorney right away. Even if you have done nothing wrong, police may have opened an investigation based on mistaken information. A lawyer can help you understand your rights and determine whether the tracker was placed with a valid warrant. Fourth, do not destroy the tracker immediately. If you want to preserve evidence of police surveillance, you can keep the tracker in a safe place. But if you simply want it off your car, removing it and discarding it is generally not a crime. What if you are not sure who placed the tracker? It could be a jealous partner, a stalker, or a private investigator. In that case, removal is still appropriate, and you should contact both the police and a lawyer. Stalking and illegal surveillance are serious crimes, and you have the right to protect your privacy. Let me summarize the exact steps you should memorize. If you find a GPS tracker on your car, 1. Remove it calmly. 2. Scan for additional trackers using a detector. 3. Contact an attorney. 4. Do not destroy the tracker if you want to keep it as evidence. And 5. Know that you are not committing theft by removing a device attached to your property without your consent. Now let me give you a full example of how to handle this situation calmly. You walk to your car, you see a small box under the bumper, you remove it, you take it inside, you search online for a GPS tracker detector and buy one. While you wait, you call a lawyer. You say, I found a GPS tracker on my car. I believe it may be a police tracker. What should I do? The lawyer can advise you based on your state's laws. You do not panic. You do not destroy the tracker immediately. You simply secure it and seek legal advice. A few more practical tips. If you suspect you are being tracked, vary your routine. Park in different locations. Check your car regularly. Keep your phone's location services turned off when not needed. And remember, the United States versus Jones decision protects you from warrantless GPS tracking, but it does not stop police from using other methods, like watching you in public or using your phone's location data with a warrant. Also, know that many police departments use GPS trackers in drug investigations, theft investigations, and even domestic violence cases. If you are not the target, you could still be tracked by mistake. That is why knowing your rights is essential. Practice these steps at home. Think about what you would do. When you find a strange device on your car, you do not want to think. You want your hands and your mouth to know what to do automatically. And remember, none of this is legal advice for your specific situation. Laws vary by state, and court interpretations can differ. If you are ever charged with a crime or have questions about your specific encounter, consult a local attorney who knows the judges and prosecutors in your area. If this video helped you understand your rights regarding GPS trackers, hit that like button right now. It helps more people find these videos when they need them. Subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss an update when I post new breakdowns of police interactions and your rights. And drop a comment below. Have you ever found a strange device on your car? What did you do? I read every comment, and I will see you in the next video.